Personally, if I were grieving the loss of innocent civilian life, I probably wouldn't show up to a rally that has been documented to actively advocate for the loss of more innocent civilian life and that constantly votes against a ceasefire.
Husband and cousins, and welcome back again on another episode today. How are you all doing? I hope you guys are doing great, and if you are joining for the very first time, thank you so much for tuning in. There is this TikToker who makes comedy videos on TikTok that has recently been cancelled because of some things that she said in some of her videos after a picture of her at a pro-Israel rally went viral. She talked about the picture and she said she was there to mourn the life that was lost on October 6 or October 7, and that she was just there so that she can feel connected to other Jewish people. In her video, she said that if you care about Palestine, you care about the things going on in Gaza, then it wholly hurts your movement to dismiss or deny the fear and the grief that the Jewish people are going through. She as well made a couple of videos talking about how difficult it is for her sometimes to leave the house because she knows she's Jewish and that she might be targeted. This is somebody who lives in America. She said sometimes it's so hard for her to, go out because she's Jewish, and sometimes she can deassociate herself from her Jewish tag, like removing a necklace or any other thing that can literally signify that she is a Jewish person. So that video went viral and a lot of people have just had it up to their neck and they are recently cancelling her. Our original video has been taken down, or maybe it was reported, I don't know, but people have been talking about our video. So without wasting much time, let me just roll the clip so you guys can hear what this lady said and what the people are saying about our video that went viral.
If you're a person who claims to care about the Palestinian people and innocent civilians in Gaza, it only hurts your movement to deny and delegitimize Jewish fear and grief. Let's discuss it.
If you have not had the displeasure of this girl literally screaming on your For You page every 5 minutes, then you're very lucky. But she comes up on my For You page a lot. And I actually did like her takes like a year ago or so. But with all of this stuff happening, we can just see how people actually are. So this video that Talia talks about, where she says that you can fight for Palestinian liberation, but also legitimize Jewish people's fear. And that sentiment as a sentence is very accurate. And I do agree with that. But it's the hypocrisy, because she had many videos in the beginning of all of this where someone had commented Free Palestine on one of her videos and she stitched it and just started yelling. And she was like, what are you going to gain from this? What are you gaining from putting Free Palestine? And even though this video is also vile and I'll get into it, this is very much like her working that back because she realizes that, oh wow, maybe I am actually doing something awful. But going back to this video, she goes on to say that people who are pro-Palestine need to realize that there's a lot of hateful people that are also part of the pro-Palestine movement, and we should be aware of that and calling that out. Now, clearly she doesn't follow anyone or read anything that is pro-Palestine because people call out problematic behavior all the time. But even if you don't see that, why aren't you using that argument on yourself? Many extreme right-wing individuals, including Ben Shapiro, people who have criticized women, who have criticized people of color, who have criticized people in the LGBTQ space, are literally on your side. They are expressing the same views as you. Does that not make you feel some type of way? And have you not seen that historical freedom fighters and civil liberties people like Malcolm X and MLK, they have been on the side of Palestinian liberation? Who has been on the side of creating a nation state like Israel to ensure that there is white supremacy flooding the Arab world? Who is co-opting your movement? So before you come up in here and say, check who is co-opting your movement and screaming at everyone on your For You page, think about what you're saying.
Person who claims to care about the Palestinian people and innocent civilians in Gaza, it only hurts your movement to deny and delegitimize Jewish fear and grief. Let's discuss it. I hope you stick around. Would I say that I myself am terrified to leave the house right now as a Jewish person? Not necessarily.
I've followed this girl for so long because I think that she's very funny. She stands up for women, blah, blah, whatever. But to compare how people in Gaza feel versus how Jewish people feel in America right now is so different. And like, you're an influencer. You probably receive a lot of hate comments. It's something that actually is very common when you are in that kind of limelight. It's something that you kind of have to get used to, as much as it sucks, as much as I don't think that it's a good thing. It's terrible, it's awful. But these people are actually dying. These people are actually dying. And for you to use your platform to speak about how you feel about just being threatened versus how these people feel actually being bombed on, being killed, that just shows your character. So you care more about how you feel and your safety when it actually really isn't threatened, because you know it's not. It's not. Versus how these people are actually being killed. That's how you're using your platform. To each his own. Use it how you want to, but that's how you're choosing to use it. And that's why I will no longer follow you. Anyways.
This is like saying, if you are someone who claims to care about black people, it only hurts your movement, the BLM movement, to negate the fact that cops are scared, that cops feel really hated right now. This is exactly what you're saying. Why is it that for it to seem valid to you that Palestinian lives are in danger and they are the most in danger right now, why do I have to preface that by saying Jewish people's lives matter too? Israeli matters too. Are you insane? It could not be less about you. The whiteness is so prevalent in it. You are seeing a genocide and you are making it about you. And then later on in a video, she's talking about how when she talks about men, she's supported and everything, but then now when she talks about Jewish struggles, like women's struggles versus Jewish struggles, between men and women, women are the oppressed. Between Palestine and Israel, Palestinians are the one that are oppressed. So I don't know where you're picking this pick and choose thing, which Biden is doing as well. Like Biden, how he's giving aid to Israel and then Ukraine. If you're okay. One thing that really is the root of all of it, it's the root of everything. White people in every movement, not just this, but in every movement, you forget you don't know everything. As the oppressed, you know your oppressor. You think because I don't know why you think, but you think you know everything. You don't. This is like, I literally was talking to my friend about just now and I gave an analogy. It's like being in an ocean and you're on a boat and you're saying, I can tell you about the whole ocean. And we're in the water. We can see everything you can't see under the boat. Because we are there. The system was created so you could be in that boat. So you wouldn't have to see. Your system, the one that you benefit from, the one that we're all living in. So for you to go up there and act like you know everything, you don't, first of all. And to make it about you, this is exactly what Blue Lives Matter was. This is exactly what Blue Lives Matter was. And I'm not going to say no one, because I'm sure there are anti-Semites that are like thriving right now. But the pro-Palestine movement, no one in the pro-Palestine is saying all Jews are bad or something. Like, it's literally could not be less about you. You are like, every single person who's posted about Palestine and has not prefaced it with saying Jewish lives matter as well is getting hated on. Why is it only valid to you if we say you first? It's not about you. In this moment, in any other time, okay, we'll talk about anti-Semitism. But in this moment right now, you are picking Israel and making them the victim, saying you're scared to be alive. Ellie, whatever, Ziley or whatever, the Charlie D'Amelio wannabe, she's in her bathroom posting home after she's saying I'm scared of my life. Are you literally, they don't have clean water. They don't have clean water. After that, I'm sure you're going to go get like some dinner with your friend on New York Street, whatever. They don't have water. And so for you to preface everything and then to even go as far as to say your movement is not valid unless you talk about us first, you know what? Like, this is like saying like we have to win you over. Like, you're too, like, it's like when white people will say, it's like when white people will be like problematic and then they'll start acting like you owe them because they're like an ally. I don't know what you think this is, but this is not it. If you are going to be an activist, you don't need to be thinking that we owe you for that. Because you did the thing. You are benefiting from the issue. So the least you could do is talk about it and be an ally, activist, whatever. So for you to act like this and then say it's not valid unless, you are insane. And what gets me, and what really, really gets me, is these people aren't even in Israel. We know about this from the news. They're living it. In what world do you make this about you? This is not, like, I'm sorry if I don't practice a white, blonde hair, blue eyes woman talking about she's afraid in her New York apartment. Literally a whole different country, a whole different continent. and you're saying that you're afraid. Okay. You're also acting like you being Jewish cancels the fact that you're white. You need to remember that. You need to remember that. You are still white. So I don't know why you're acting like, this is what pisses me off. It's such a white idea to see people suffering and make it about you to begin with. Especially as the aggressors. And sometimes she's saying, why does it bother you to say, Jewish people are suffering, whatever. So she's trying to make it seem like everyone is like bothered by the fact that people say anti-Semitism is a thing. That's not the case, and it's very weird for you to weaponize that. Very weird. And it's odd for you to see what's going on and put yourself in the middle of it. All your videos about it, you've talked about Israel first. And I unfollowed you because I was just pissed, but like the last video I saw, you called Hamas a terrorist group. Interesting. Hamas has not done one thing Israel has not, but Hamas is a terrorist group and Israel isn't. Okay, great. So I'm just confused on where you draw the lines. Because what is like, and the thing is with the hostages, y'all act like Israel does not have thousands of Palestinian hostages and has had them for a long time. Those little tags on their ankles, like they're not people. But no, you're scared. Okay. Scared in New York. This video girl talking about this, and she was saying the pro-Palestine people are not the people that are aggressing you right now. The people that are making you in fear is the Israeli government and the Zionists. They're the one putting you in fear right now. They're the reason people are associating you with them. And then the way that you're talking, you are seeming like you agree with them. So it's very odd for you to do that in the beginning. And it's not justification for what's going on, of course. But we're not the ones putting you in danger. We're not like pro-Palestine. It is nowhere in pro-Palestine is it anti-Jewish. Nowhere in that. You've made that up. And what's interesting is you've made that. This is what gets me. You can't fathom the idea that Jewish people matter just as much as Palestinians matter. And especially right now, Palestinians need to matter more because they're the ones suffering. They need to be up. This is not hard. This is not complicated. So it's very weird that you have to establish your suffering before anyone else can speak. Very odd. Especially when your suffering does not include bombing every day, when you have access to clean water and food, when you are holding a phone in your New York apartment talking about all this stuff, you have no idea. None of us do because we're not there. But for you to make yourself in every, like, it's not people. And then the thing is, people will be like, oh, it's not a competition. Oh, actually it is though, because you're the one that made a competition. Palestinian people are dying left and right, and you want me to equate that with hate DMs? Are you insane? Mind you, you're an influencer. You get hate DMs anyway. So for you to say this is not equal. And then what gets me is you're saying that you're scared to wear your Stardiv's necklace out right now. They can't go outside. They can't go outside. You're going where to get your coffee? They can't do that. So why? And the thing is, it's not a competition. You're making it one by adding your thing in it. You are making it one by making your video start with "I'm scared." You made this a competition, and you think it's just the natural white narcissism, and this can be unlearned, and it has been by so many white people. But you cannot see past your own ego to think about anyone else for 1 minute. You have to make sure everyone knows you're the most important person right now. You have to make sure that in every single video before you can talk about anyone. Kids, people dying, but you're afraid. Okay. And that whole thing, another thing, and the whole thing that it's a letter to TikTok, and it's like not a safe place for Jewish people right now. You can delete an app; they can't delete where they are. You can delete an app; they can't delete where they are. So for you, and so many of these creators are defending Israel. So don't act like in the whole defend itself. That's not a thing. If you believe in defend itself, you would not call Hamas a terrorist group, because Hamas was defending itself. Hamas was in reaction to Israel. So if you said you don't care about defense, and it's so clear, because if you did, you would not be calling Hamas a terrorist group, because Israel is when they fire back, but Hamas, years it's been going on in Palestine. Someone for once fought back and they're a terrorist, but not Israel, and they have the right to defend themselves. Bombing churches is defending, bombing hospitals is defending, bombing ambulances is defending what? And the whole using kids as human targets. Are you insane? You're bombing every inch of Gaza, and you're saying, oh, well, they were there because... It's not a defense if kids are just where they are. If they're just at home, which you've destroyed. They're just at home If you cared about the kids, you'd let them go. You would let people leave. You are, like, it's so... Every single argument you have is so clearly just bull, and you know it. That's why you're resorting to saying you're scared, but giving no actual like valid argument as to why you think that the Jewish struggle right now is more important than Palestinian people. Literally, they're dying. Literally, every minute they're being bought. Like, it's just so amazing how white people never fail to make themselves the center of the argument, the center of the problem. White lives matter. We didn't forget that. That's exactly what you're doing right now. Exactly what you're doing right now. And with the whole sexist, how you talk about men a lot. This is like women talking about the struggles, and they're like, okay, but toxic masculinity. You created toxic. You're only speaking about it now so heavily to overpower Palestinian struggle. You are upset that someone that you think hurt you is getting sympathy. Palestinians did not hurt you. Hamas did. In reaction to you hurting them. So that whole do you condemn Hamas? Do you condemn Israel? Answer that first, because what do you mean? What do you're so immediate to establish that all Palestinian people are not terrorists. Even pro-Palestinian people are not terrorists. You have to make that known, because if we say no, then we're terrorists. Are you insane? It's so calculated. It's so just bull. Literally just bull.
What do you guys think about what all these creators said? This lady literally made everything about herself. Every other video she has done to double down on whatever it is that she has said is still not making any sense. She makes it feel like she is the center of attention, like you have to care about her because she's scared. And she's not even in Israel, because that's one of the parts that is pissing people off. You in the United States are saying you're scared. Now think of the people that are in Gaza that they are bombing every now and then. Over 20,000 deaths has been recorded, but you are the one that is scared as a Jewish person because you feel like you're going to be targeted because you're a Jewish person. And then again, I feel like she's scared of losing so many followers, and this is the reason why she's doing a lot of double down. Because when that picture of her at the pro-Israel went viral, she did a lot of video trying to acknowledge and do all those things, but it still wasn't cutting it for a lot of people, because as a white person, people already see through you. And there are people's comments like that, like, we already know that something was wrong. If you know that you support or you stand with your own people, stand by them, stand with them, without actually having to make it seem like the life of the people being lost in Palestine is just like chicken and it doesn't mean anything to you. So this is exactly what the people are saying. A lot of times when people come online to make insensitive topics, when they start coming for them, it seems like they can't take the heat, because she posted a video acknowledging the picture that has been going viral. But people were already like, you know what, do whatever you like, we already know where you stand. It's also insensitive. Let me hear what you guys think in the comment section. Thank you all so much for joining. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe before you go, and turn your bell notification on as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. And I love you guys.